For great ideas and practical tools you can start using tomorrow to grow your business and separate you from the competition, you've come to the right place. If you're into B2B marketing and sales, then welcome to the one and only B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast. With over 60 and counting total years in the trenches of businesses small and large, they have a plethora of knowledge and experience that generate you more leads, capture more clients, ring up more sales. Well, doggone it, just make you more money. How about that? Always thought-provoking, yet dubiously entertaining. Please welcome to their respective microphones across 3 time zones, your co-ringmasters, the Dave Loomis, and not the rock star, Steve Miller.
Hey everybody, it's Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, marketing gunslinger, not the rock star, as you all know, this is the B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast, and my partner, David Mayo Loomis, has either gone through a major change or he's not here today. And I'm pretty sure he's not here today because today I got one of my all-time favorite people. I have got Kinsey the Haynes. Haynes it's not Haynes ketchup, but anyway, Kinsey, who works for a company called Iron Tech. Is it just Iron Tech now, or is it Iron Tech Security?
So we just did a rebrand. Right now, it's just Kirkham Iron Tech.
Oh, it's Kirkham Iron Tech. Of course, somebody has to have top billing. All right. Yeah, we get that. All right. So it's Kirkham Iron Tech. Now, let's talk about Kinsey a little bit, because you and I have done these before. We've done a couple LinkedIn Lives before. We've had a great time, and the title of our programs when we're together, and so I'll tell it to everybody again here right now, is I call them a boomer and a Gen-Zer walk into a bar and talk marketing, which I think is a very clever title, but nobody's ever really said anything nice about it to me. But they do say nice things about Kinsey. Because not only is Kinsey beautiful, she's just gorgeous. But this kid is so darn smart. And she is so good at what she does. And I love talking marketing with her. So Kinsey, since we're doing this via primarily the podcast, I would say a lot of the people on the podcast don't know who you are. They probably did not see us on LinkedIn, but they will definitely want to go back and watch those if they find them. Kinsey, you are from the South.
I am.
You're from Arkansas. You're from Arkansas, even though you don't sound like you're from Arkansas. Tell us a little bit. Okay, imagine that you're on a game show. Okay. And we're on Wheel of Fortune, and I am Pat Sajak, and I go, "Hey, Kinsey, welcome to Wheel of Fortune. Tell us a little bit about yourself."
Okay. I'm Kinsey. I am born and raised in Fort Smith, Arkansas. I got my bachelor's marketing in Arkansas and started working for Kirkham Iron Tech when I was living in Arkansas. Moved out to Honolulu, Hawaii back in June of 2021. So it'll be 2 years this summer.
2 years coming up. Wow.
Yeah, I know. And I'm still working for Kirkham Iron Tech. I am their chief marketing officer. And it's been an absolute adventure the last couple of years in marketing. Steve's kind of watched me grow up in that aspect. I mean, when I met Steve, it was my last semester of college. So he's definitely, watched me grow the last 3 years.
Yeah. 3 years.
So super cool stuff.
It's really been fun watching you. And also it makes us, I have to admit, okay, my smoking hot wife Kay is part of this, right? Part of the connection with Ken's and in her growth in this. But it takes a really sometimes people give us too much credit. It's easy for us to share what we think is going to work. It's easy for us to share philosophies and things like that have worked for us and have worked for a lot of companies and people in the past. But the fact of the matter is, it takes somebody like Kinsey who embraces what we teach, tries it out, and then, hopefully it works. And so far it's worked as far as we know. Now, obviously it's not just us that she's listening to. She's a student of the game. And and we haven't talked in a while. So I'm real anxious, because you said you've been doing some new things, at Kirkham. And by the way, I don't want to let this just slide. I don't know if you noticed that what she said was that she moved from Arkansas to Honolulu. And she's still working for Kirkham Iron Tech. Yep. The quotes are only around Kirkham and Iron Tech. And that to me was like, and I just have to say, to me, that was a ballsy move, that you convinced Tom, and, good for Tom for saying, okay, is that you said to Tom, I want to move to Hawaii.
Yeah. It's been a dream of mine since I was a kid. So
yeah. And you said, I can do my job from Hawaii. Okay. So, which means that you get up very early.
Yeah, I do. I've been up since 4:15.
4:15 in Hawaii. You've been up since then working, and you're still working right now. We're actually talking during business hours, which we don't care. Tom often says something to me about it, but I'm like, come on, I'm promoting you. And so that she is and she's now been there for almost 2 years, and doing this. And that right there, I was having a conversation with a client this morning, and he was making the comment that he does a lot of high school recruiting to find possible technicians for his business, right? When they train kids and stuff like that. And, not everybody has to go to college, right? But he says when he's talking to some of the counselors and the teachers and stuff, he said they often complain about the kids, that they don't have a long attention span. That they're in classes, they got their phones out and stuff like that, complaining. And I said, and I'd like for you to comment on this. Actually, let me let you comment first before I comment. What is your opinion, being a Gen-Zer, what is your opinion about that type of a complaint about the Gen Zs, the Gen X's, even back to the millennials, which my daughter is a millennial. And, how do you respond to a comment like that?
I do think some of it's fact, like you mentioned, attention span. You look at TikTok and Instagram and these like short videos that we used to not have. And so many of us just kind of indulge in that and spend hours and hours watching these shorter videos. And if we don't like it, we just scroll and go to the next one that's, again, super short. And I don't remember what it was. I think it's like, I remember one of my college professors saying that your attention span can only last like really intensely for 45 minutes and then you're gone, like you're done. And I think that's probably just changed with how the world's kind of evolved in technology and different things. So, people are going to say, oh, Gen Zers, their attention span's less. Well, I believe it. I don't really take any offense to it or anything. Some people might, but I definitely see it from the perspective of things have changed. I grew up with, no technology, and I remember seeing my first iPhone when I was in junior high, thinking, oh my goodness, like, what is this, and not, having, iPad or anything like that growing up. It's going to change the way that people work and, the way people go to school and can function in a classroom. I can't even imagine what it's like in a classroom these days with just phones and technology and how teachers do it. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, and here's how I look at it. School was always boring.
Yeah.
I mean, not every kid goes to school and sits there with enrapt attention.
Mhm.
I mean, when I was growing up, I mean, we were still using, stone chisel, a chisel to take notes. And, but it was so boring. I mean, kids would fall asleep in class.
Yeah.
All right. And nowadays, instead of falling asleep, they just have their phones. And so to me, the number one thing is school is boring. And I always remember what Jerry Seinfeld said once. He said, if a comedian is boring, you want him off the stage in 5 minutes. If a comedian is great, after 2 hours, you want him to stay there. And I kind of look at it like that. To me, you guys are just, it's just more obvious, that you're bored.
Yeah.
And you have something else to look at. Rather than those of us that didn't have that stuff growing up,
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's my take on it. My daughter feels the same way. I don't feel that you guys are lazier at all. I use you and my daughter Kelly as my examples whenever I'm talking to people, because and they bring this stuff up and I say, are you kidding me? I know this kid in Honolulu who gets up at 4:15 to go to work for a company that's based in Arkansas. I said, that's not lazy.
Yeah.
All right. And Kelly, she works her butt off in sales down in Southern California, and she takes offense, when people kind of start talking nasty about them. So anyway, so all right, I beat that one to death. I want to talk about your website. You said to me in preparation for this, that you guys have gone through a website redesign. Was it a complete from the ground up, or was it?
Yeah. So, I guess a lot of these are new listeners, but we had two divisions: Kirkham IT, which is the IT services, outsourced IT, and then we had Iron Tech Security, which was cybersecurity, so like just B2B. And we have been talking about it for a long time, about just like merging them and just having one brand. And so we did that. We now have Kirkham Iron Tech, and we launched our new website last week. So it's just kirkhamirontech.com. And it was definitely a process. I had never created, of course I don't do like the website, like designing and everything like that. We've got a guy that does our website. I think he's done some work with you guys too, Steve, Ryan. He's great.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I just kind of laid out everything for him as to what I was wanting and the content, threw everything together. And it was a lot of the old content, like the way we have gone about this merge is we cut the logos in half. So the Kirkham IT, it's like the Kirkham part of our logo, and the Iron Tech's from the Iron Tech Security logo. So we just combined them. And then we're going to keep both websites, the old ones, up and running. They're not going anywhere. We get a lot of traffic on both of those sites. So we're going to keep them up and still have those lead gen forms running and everything like that. So we can kind of start working on our new brand, but we've also got these other two that are still helping us because they're, I don't know, the same thing.
Okay. So, all right. So besides the merging of the two parts, and then creating a site that covers both of them. What is the purpose of your website?
Just to, mainly inform people exactly what we're doing. That's what both of the older websites did too. The reason we created the new one is just more so to kind of the rebrand, start from scratch, make sure our messaging is where we want it. The other two websites, I helped some, like they're both started whenever I started working for this company 3 years ago. So I didn't create them from the ground up or anything like that. I've adjusted content on them, added content to them, and all of that sorts. But from this, like starting from scratch, I was able to make sure the messaging on every page is how I wanted, the layouts, how I wanted, it's you know, it's going to appeal to our prospects, you know, modern day. We know 100%, you know, I've been doing this 3 years. I know the common objections that I'm going to get from people. So if we could address those on the site before they talk to my sales guy, you know, that's going to save so much time in our sales process. And so little things like that I've kind of learned over the years that I've seen on other people's websites, other cybersecurity companies' websites that, you know, I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. That's something that we could kind of take and make our own somehow. I've implemented into this new website, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy with it. It's still like, it's live. There's still a lot more I want to do and like add to it. You know, I've got a long to-do list right now. I've been working on like a FAQs page. I went ahead and went live with the website, but this is something that I think that would just be good to throw on there somewhere where you can only ask questions. You know, I asked my sales guy, hey, what are like some of the most common things you get asked? Let's just have a FAQ section. Let's write the question and let's answer them. And maybe we can save, you know, some unqualified prospects maybe from calling. That way they can kind of filter themselves out. And yeah, it's been a journey.
So besides FAQs, what if somebody were looking at redoing their website?
Yeah.
What have you learned, or what were some of the objectives that you wanted to accomplish in addition to, say, like adding FAQs to the new site?
Yeah, mainly like lead gen. If we can bring more leads to the website in any way, that's, you know,
How do you do that?
SEO blog posts. We're going to be posting 4 blog posts a month. We were doing 4, so we'll probably be doing, I guess, 4 again, on this new site. And our website guy, Ryan, he set up like the subscription for us. So I don't know too much about it, but we get reports, weekly SEO reports through simrush.com.
Right.
And so it's able to tell us, you know, what pages are ranking the highest and who's looking at what pages, or not who, but what pages are getting the most views. And from that, I'm kind of able to figure out what people are really searching into Google. And I'm going to take what I've got from the SEO reports coming from our last website and kind of work off of that too. I think one of our most popular pages is about password attacks. So that's something I'm going to want to make sure that on this new website, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to have a password section or content on my website just about passwords, because I know it's bringing traffic to our website. And on that page that's bringing the most leads in, you know, it's having the most views. That's where you got to make sure you got that lead form in there somewhere, that freebie where you can grab their email or their phone number. Because I mean, obviously it's getting traffic, and you put a good form in there with whatever content it is. You know, we could do a free ebook on password managers on that password page and hope that we get some conversions out of it.
So when you say that you have a form, you have a freebie, you have a lead magnet.
Yes.
Are these on the blog page, or how do they if somebody goes to the blog and is reading the blog, where do they see the lead magnet?
It's within the blog. So
Okay.
we'll have a few places like in the middle of the blog and at the very end too. If they read all the way down to the bottom, download it here. And then on our new website, we have it to where I know, and a website's not really like my stuff. Like I'm not, you know, a website expert, but we have a little footer, I guess you'd call it, that kind of sticks in each page of the website. So it doesn't matter what page you're on, but when you scroll down to the bottom, it's not the footer, but the one above the footer. It's offering a free security and risk assessment.
It's there. Even while they're scrolling, it stays there.
No, it doesn't stay, but if they go to the bottom of the page, there's always a CTA on every, doesn't matter what page you're on, even if you're looking at a blog post or if you're on our Company About Us page, there's always just a free security and risk assessment, like sign up here, call to action. So there's always like another step that they can take to move forward if they want, without even having to like go to the contact page. Or
I see. Okay. So that must be working for you if you're continuing to do it.
Yeah. I've implemented everything that's worked on both past pages into this new one. And then some new things that we're doing. We recently just switched CRMs. We were using ActiveCampaign, loved it. I have no complaints. It's amazing. But we found a CRM that is specific to IT providers and cybersecurity providers like us.
Oh.
And so it's tailored towards everything we do, I guess you could say. So when we put, we move over a deal from, they were a prospect and we signed the deal, we won the deal, they're a client now. It's got, industry specific terms in there. How many users do they have? How many devices do they have? And that's not something you're normally going to get out of a, just a generic CRM like ActiveCampaign or HubSpot.
Right.
And with GlassHive, you can integrate the forms into your website straight from GlassHive. And it's pretty cool because anytime someone fills out a form on, our website, it's still a form within GlassHive, our new CRM, and it ranks all of our contacts. It gives them like a score and a heat level. So like they're flaming hot, or they're cold and got a snowflake, or they've got that high, high score. And they base the score off of like forms that they filled out. If they fill out the form to sign up for our email list, okay, cool. They're probably, they're not a snowflake anymore. And then it's, so say they're added to our email list and then they get our newsletter and they click on some links in our newsletter, that heat temp's going to go up. And so with our new CRM, we have been able to implement it into our new website and hopefully get some like metrics that we didn't have before for our sales guy. So if he wants to call and reach out, like, here's 10 hot, I think they just call them hot leads. So here's 10 hot leads. If you want to just pick up the phone and give them a call and see if there's anything we can do for them. And so it's super exciting because, we had integrations on our last website, but it wasn't like this, to where it's gonna like rate them and score them and kind of qualify them for you.
Yeah, lead scoring is if you're able to do lead scoring using meaningful metrics, it's awesome. It's awesome to have. Absolutely. And not very many companies really do get into that, especially the small to medium sized businesses. But if they were able to do that, that's big. That's really big to be able to. You talk about lead gen, and you say people who come to the website. Okay, besides SEO, what else are you doing to get people to come to the website?
Yeah. So we've got, those blog posts that I mentioned. Right. That's something that we schedule out on our social media. We use something called Social Pilot, and that's what we use to schedule our social media ahead of time. And we have all those blog posts that we are putting on the website. That's something that's going out on all of our social media. So they're seeing it that way. And then we also throw that content into our monthly digest. So that's another way we're kind of leading people to our website too. So the social media, the monthly digests. And then we also, let's see. So we've got a brain fart there for a second. Let's see. How else are we bringing people to the website? Oh yeah, with just webinars. We've always got call to actions in our webinars. So that's like the last slide. A lot of these webinars that we do are with associations and they can't be salesy. So you just kind of put your website, on the very last slide in hopes that they come to your website.
Right.
We have a pop-up that pops up the second you come to our website for the first time.
Okay.
It's also another super easy way to grab, contact information and leads and gather leads, because I think it's sign up for cybersecurity threat intelligence warnings. We announce different things. If there's a big breach, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Like LastPass, they had a big breach a couple months ago, and we were able to, let everyone know. So, what else do we do to bring people to our website? A lot. It's just, I send out weekly emails every Thursday. A lot of the time it includes something that leads back to our website. We also, I haven't put it on the new website yet, but we were putting all of our YouTube videos on the Iron Tech Security website for SEO reasons. And we would transcribe each video and just more content that you can throw on your page. And Google loves that.
That's and that's something a lot of people don't know that. If you if you post a YouTube video, I mean, obviously you want to have captioning going on,
right,
with your YouTube video, but you should also get it transcribed and upload that into the description, right? Because that helps with SEO.
Yep.
Big time. And I think a lot of companies don't know that.
Yeah.
So I am always encouraging people, just get it transcribed. You can do it, use AI, which we're going to be talking about here in a second, to do the transcript. I mean, it's never perfect. It obviously it's going to get better. It's going to get a lot better. And we're going to talk about that. But it's very, very simple. It's very easy. Is there a particular source that you used to do transcripts?
Let's see. I want to say we usually use a lady on Fiverr, but
okay.
Manager uses something called Otter.ai.
Otter. I was going to say, yeah, for Otter's probably the most I don't know if I'd say reliable, but probably the most popular online AI transcription site. And it does a pretty good job. We found another one that's not it's not a site, but we use an app called The Script to edit the videos as well as to do the transcripts and stuff like that. So that's a terrific tool. I might talk to you, maybe you and I can talk about that.
Yeah.
Off camera, but Descript, Descript, and very, very, very cool app if you do a lot of videos. So yeah, okay, so you've got that stuff going for you. Is there anything else you want to talk about the new website? Because since you brought up AI, we can segue into that conversation too.
Yeah, I think that's about it. We could run into the AI combo.
Okay, so and I asked you, okay, what do we want to talk about, Kens? And first thing you said was, well, AI is always good.
Yeah.
and if people follow me at all, one thing you guys know about me is that I may be old, okay, but I'm ahead of the curve, and there are many people who we've worked with over the years who I dragged kicking and screaming into what was called the World Wide Web back in 1994, and that's when I had my first website put up in 1994, and then I just dragged all these trade associations and corporations in there, and they're just like going, why are we doing this? And so here we are again, because this is if you guys haven't read, if you're not reading my social media stuff, then what's wrong with you? This is another sea change. This is as big, if not bigger, than the internet. And it's going to just it's changing so many things, and so many jobs, and that stuff. Kens, let's just start with what is your take on how the new AI, and specifically we'll say ChatGPT, was the thing that has absolutely thrown the world for a loop. On November 22nd of 2022. They released ChatGPT to the world as being probably the most sophisticated AI of all time, where you don't worry about programming so much as having a conversation with the AI. And 5 days after they launched it, they exceeded 1 million subscribers. We are now probably about 100 110 days since then, I think, something like that. Maybe not even 110 days, but but they're now in excess of 100 million subscribers. They have come out with ChatGPT 4, which is, I don't know, 1,000 times smarter, faster, better than the original ChatGPT. What is your take on all of this stuff?
It's scary, but exciting.
It's scary for a Gen Zer.
I think it's more scary for me on the cybersecurity side of things, because I see it being used in a lot of bad ways in that aspect.
Good point. Share more about that.
Well, I mean, an example Tom's been using in his webinars lately is, I mean, if you type into ChatGPT, who is Steve Miller, Washington State, UNCOPYABLE author, just and see what pops up.
The write-up is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that.
And it's like, if I want to know who works at Kirkham Iron Tech, I could just ask. And I saw, I don't know what news channel it was, but I saw some interview or something the other day. And it's like, hackers are going to be using it definitely for bad. I mean, they can have AI write malicious code, AI can be used just as much for bad as it can be for good. On a marketing side of things, I love it. I'm excited. The cybersecurity side of things, it's a little scary.
Well, okay, so because that's your world.
It is.
Let's I'll bet this is something that the people that are watching this, everybody knows what it is, right? And whether you're embracing it now, and I'm going to make a point here, okay? If you don't embrace this AI, if you don't embrace it, learn how to use it, and your competition does, you've lost.
Yeah.
You've lost the race. And you're not going to get beat by AI. You're going to get beat by a company or a person who uses AI. Now, cybersecurity, I don't think very many people are really actually talking about that.
No, I don't think so. We've put a couple of videos on our YouTube page about it, and like ChatGPT and the threats that follow, and AI, and kind of what it means for businesses, and how it really does kind of greaten everyone's risks and threats. Just because, I mean, hackers are going to be able to, I mean, if they want to specifically target, for example, you, I mean, they can learn about you and figure out the best way to hack you. And that's like the least technical way of putting it.
Right. Right.
But I mean, just do what you can, use a password manager and use EDR. Don't use antivirus. It's old stuff. I mean, there's AI.
What's the difference?
Yeah. So that's what's cool. I mean, it's EDR is AI. And EDR is the artificial intelligence way to protect your devices. EDR is what we've been, selling for years now. Instead of antivirus, it uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to stop cyber attacks.
Okay.
And that's how it knows, like, okay, this I've never seen before. It learns like a Tesla. And the antivirus, it's told by people, by humans, hey, look out for this specific cyber attack because we've seen it before.
Right.
And there's so much out there in this world that your antivirus has never seen, never heard of, these cyber attacks that these hackers
would you say the antivirus, I mean, it's almost like flu vaccine every year. It's like the flu vaccine is trying to catch up to the virus. Right. So that's what you're saying, that antivirus software or apps or something like that, they're trying to catch up to what's out there, right?
And there's no way for them to.
Yeah. And the bad guys, they're like squirrels.
Yeah.
They say, it's almost impossible to build a squirrel-proof bird feeder. And the reason why is, squirrels are thinking 24/7 how to get inside that feeder, right?
Right.
So these hackers are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And now like you mentioned that you can use AI to write code.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have designed your website.
Yeah.
On
I
AI.
saw an ad on YouTube the other day about how there's I don't remember the name of the AI tool, but you can actually have AI like build the website,
Right.
build the website.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I mean, that's not how we went about it, but it's crazy that, I mean, you want to start a business and you don't know where to start. I mean, AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you see, here's this happened to me the other day. I am just absolutely spending way too much time on AI, but because I think this is so important, and the B2B world tends to lag.
Yeah.
And this is again, this is 1994 all over again. And because I know that Kirkham Iron Tech is doing this as well. As we are going to drag you kicking and screaming into the AI world, because you have to be there.
Yeah.
And this cybersecurity thing is, now that you've brought it up, I need to think more about that, because like the other day I was on ChatGPT 4, messing around with it and giving it some directions, and just out of the blue I said, hey, I want to update my my website, and change blah blah blah. You know what the program came, or the algorithm came back and asked me?
What?
What's your login information?
Yeah.
So that I can go in and work on it. And I thought to myself, wait a minute. You mean it can actually go log into my site? If I give it that information, it's going to go log into my site?
Oof.
And I did it, and I wanted to check on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I also have the Bing Plus, right? And so, and what I'll often do is go back and forth between ChatGPT 4 and Bing. And I went through the same process with Bing. Asked me the same question. So, what do you think about that?
It's changing the game. Safety wise, I wouldn't do it. Just because, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, there's got to be databases somewhere with all this information, and if it gets into, I don't know, I wouldn't want AI to control something.
Nope, you froze on me there.
Like
Kins,
that.
Kins, you froze on me there, so you need to say it again.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now
Okay,
I can.
cool.
Now I can,
Awesome.
but yeah, you were frozen.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to give AI, too much control in some aspects, just because I don't know. It's scary. Like if I gave AI my login and my username, it's just, I don't know where that would be floating.
I would never do it.
Yeah.
I would never do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw Terminator.
Yeah.
All right. I saw what Skynet did to the world. Okay. So I don't want to plant that seed that allows it to say, oh well, if Steve was stupid enough to do that, maybe somebody else will be stupid too. So
yeah.
Anyway,
there's no telling where AI is gonna go in the next couple months. It's definitely just gonna keep evolving, I think. And I just know that security wise, you got to make sure that you're sticking and, up to date with what's happening. All this AI is coming out to make sure you are safe and you are protected and you are staying extra aware and vigilant. These phishing emails, I mentioned just typing in your name to learn about you. I could send you a very specific email that looks so legit coming from K or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you think it's real, and then boom, you're hit with ransomware.
Yeah.
And it's that easy. So everyone needs to stay aware. And yeah, AI, it's something that, yeah, you need to drag your feet. Like you need to stay up with the times. This is it's a game changer.
Yes, it is. It is definitely a game changer, a world changer.
World changer.
Because at the same time, in the beginning when ChatGPT came out, I was watching Sam Altman who's CEO of OpenAI in an interview, and he kind of made a comment in this. He said, there are jobs that will be impacted. Okay, but he kind of played it down a little bit, but now he and OpenAI, I mean, they're saying most jobs are going to be impacted.
Yeah.
And it's just saying, look, you got to learn how to and especially white collar jobs. Okay. And so, if you're not on top of it, and if you're not close to retirement, you better figure this stuff out and figure it out for sure. Now you mentioned EDR.
Yeah, EDR.
Okay, that's a software.
Yeah, that is our endpoint detection and response software. So it replaces antivirus. Antivirus, it doesn't work. It's pretty much just useless, honestly. And EDR, it's the way to go. We give our clients 2 layers. So they've got, for any reason, if that first layer of EDR doesn't work, there's another EDR on your machine. So we like to have a layered approach. So like imagine an onion, just have different security layers around your devices, like password manager would be another one. And yeah, EDR, that's like the AI of cybersecurity protection, you could say. And it's been like that for years. I mean, we've been using the same EDR since I started 3 years ago. And it's, been using AI and machine learning ever since. They've been definitely ahead of the game on a lot of things.
So how big of a company do you have to be? I mean, to use that?
Doesn't matter. You could be one person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's turn this into an opportunity here.
Okay.
So those of you that are watching this, if you are interested in learning more about what EDR, okay, it's the first time I've heard about it. Okay, first time I've heard about it, and so you might want to send me some information about it, or just we'll talk about it too. Yeah. But if you want information about that, I will put in the video how to contact. Is it okay if I have them contact you, Kens?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'll just put your email.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. I won't put your cell phone down. Because you know what, when you call her, she's going to be on the beach. She's not going to answer.
Right.
So, so, Kenzie, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think we've beat this duck enough. We talked about a lot of stuff in the last, on this, and always great to see you. Any last minute words of wisdom? Have you gotten any wise sayings that recently that you can't wait to share with the world?
Oh, wise sayings? No, not really, but just stay vigilant, guys. Like, the hackers are out there and they're after everyone. You think you're not a target, you are. Marketing wise, keep doing what works. If it doesn't, drop it and try something else. Like, that's my main little thing right there. Yeah.
Well, glad to know that you didn't drop us. So, okay. Thank you, Kenzie Haynes with the Kirkham Iron Tech. The grand poobah, and I haven't talked to Tom in a long time, so tell him hey for me. And,
yeah.
All right. So this is Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad, marketing gunslinger, not the rock star, all that sort of stuff. Without Mr. David Mayo Loomis this week, but you got to admit, it probably was worth it, right? So we'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the one and only B2B Marketing and Sales Podcast, the source for B2B marketing and sales insight. If you enjoyed the podcast, please be sure to subscribe and leave these old guys a 5-star rating. Check the show notes for any links and contact information. You can always contact us by going to b2bmarketingsalespodcast.com. Thank you, and keep on marketing, keep on selling.